Hello everyone, I'm your host, Janella P. Tortoise, and on today's episode of Crime After the Fact, I'm here with two very special guests. They are the children of two spies for the Soviet Union. Please welcome Michael and Robert Miracle.
Hello, Janelle. It is a pleasure to be here.
And it's a pleasure to be here with you. My first question is, what exactly did your parents do to get into that sticky situation?
Well, our parents had been members of the Young Communist League since the 1930s, and our father was a leader. Our father reported to Alexander Feklesov, his handler. He was an engineer, and for that reason, he had access to nuclear secrets. He would provide classified documents to the Soviets. Later on in his espionage career, he was the leader of a Soviet spy ring in which he recruited people who worked on the Manhattan Project. One of those people was our uncle, David Greenglass, our mother's brother.
Yeah, and when he was arrested, he implicated our parents, leading to their eventual arrest. Our mother, Ethel, wouldn't have been suspected of espionage if it was not for him, her own brother. He testified that she was the one typing atomic bomb notes. He later admitted it was a lie.
I saw her! I saw Ethel typing the nuclear information to pass to the Soviets. The trial garnered a lot of media attention, and despite there being a lack of evidence, both of our parents were sentenced to death.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. So, let's get unpacking. How did you even react to the arrest of your parents at such a young age?
Well, Robert was only 6, and my first action was to write a letter to the president.
Dear President Eisenhower, I saw on television on Monday, Mr. Otis is not in prison anymore because the president of the country let him go. I think it is a good thing to let him go home because I think prison is a very bad place for anybody to be. My brother is 6 years old and his name is Robbie. Please let my mom and dad go and not let anything happen to them. If they come home, Robbie and I will be very happy. We will thank you very much. Very yours truly, Michael Rosenberg.
In the letter, I asked the president to let my parents go. My brother was only 6 and I was 10. It seemed like a silly letter now, but I was so scared that Robert and I would not have a family or home after my parents were taken away. I remember my teeth chattering and my chin quivering as I wrote that letter. But we got adopted soon after by Abel and Ann Miracle, and they have taken good care of us since. We grew up believing in our parents' innocence.
And I heard that the Miracles have some history as well. Some of you may know that the popular song, Strange Fruit, that was written about lynching.
Yeah, our adoptive father wrote that song.
Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees.
Well, this has been an eventful interview, and I really believe that people will enjoy becoming more educated about this time in history. I have one final question that I think will be good to end on. I'd like to know, how does this event still affect you today?
Wow, yeah, that's a great question, and actually something I think we'd both like to talk about. It's kind of known that there have always been questions about our mother's guilt and involvement in the espionage, but we wholeheartedly believe our mother was innocent and didn't deserve her fate.
What about your father?
Although it was hard to come to terms with, and still is, when we were young, we were able to accept our father's guilt since he had many proven acquaintances involved in the spy work he was doing.
Yeah, and to this day, we are very passionate about government transparency. We have filed many requests to view files pertaining to our parents' trial. From the first batch of files, we found evidence pointing to the fact that our parents may have been framed and the judge was involved. The files we saw later on showed that our father was involved in espionage activities.
We received word that there are more than 500,000 pages in 200 classified boxes that relate to our most recent request for information.
We continue to believe in our mother's innocence, and we are dedicated to proving it. We have said it before, and we will say it again. Just as justice delayed is justice denied, so information delayed is information denied. We are now 80 and 76, and we would like to know the full truth about our mother's case before we die. Let the chips fall where they may.